Hello everyone, it's Teddy aka JamesKisau on MTGO coming back for another Friday main series Grixis Control video. It's been quite an exciting time for the channel. We're at like 1.999 subs, so you could be the 2000th sub if you want. And then at that point, we're going to invest in an intro for the channel. Should really make people take it really seriously. And also, we've been in the midst of a crazy streak for the last 6 or 7 weeks. I might be inflating that number a little bit, but for a while now, I've been putting up a trophy every Friday, miraculously, and we're now at the outset of a new season. The leaderboard just reset. No one has trophied yet. I want to take a brief moment and survey some of the quarter 4 trophies here. Or I guess it's not quarter 4, it's the fourth, one of the year. Fourth season of the year. So this was the first one this season. This was the Edge of Eternity's release week video. Speaking of which, this should be a Spider-Man release week video, but if there's a lot of desire for that, leave a comment, let me know, but I didn't see any cards too exciting for Legacy. That could always change, something might explode. And then of course I'll make a video featuring the card, but for now I'm not seeing too much interesting. So I think we can count this as an outlier and not count it. This looks pretty stock. Yeah, Murktide as the 60th card. This was Consult the Star Charts, 60th card. I remember that video. Then this was Ethereal Forager taking the place of Murktide Regent. That was also for a video. Pretty good one, if I recall correctly. Then this one was one I just did on my spare time, trying to relax, and still this happens. I stock up taking the place of Murktide Regent. I wouldn't consider this a true outlier since stock up is a very powerful card and a great choice if you think that's your 60th card. Yeah, if you want to grind out a little harder, stock up is a fine choice. Looks like this time Nile Spellbomb was the 60th card. Slight modulation with an extra Price of Progress in the sideboard, and Murktide Regent not present at all in the list. No big creature at all present. Interesting. Now it looks like this was when we did Fatal Push in the main board, another pretty fun video on the channel. Now we're back to the stock list. I was hoping this would happen and I'd just be able to showcase slide after slide of this being the 75, of Murktide being the 60th card, but okay, there we go. There's another one. That's Run It Back status, I think. Yes. And this was a challenge top 8. I always do things a little different in the challenge, though. I like running a Nile Spellbomb in the main for the challenge. And that was just swapping one of the Thoughtseizes back over into the sideboard for one in the main board. So technically still the same 75, just a little different between the main and sideboards. And then this was with Overlord of the Bale Merc taking the place of one of the Kaitos. And then this was what I thought was going to be my last one with these no, this is not the stock list. I got a Waterlogged Teachings this time in the place of Baragoyf. And then this is just a run it back for the final trophy of the season. And there's little data for y'all. So yeah, 1805 on the constructed rating. I'm pretty happy with that. It's higher than it normally is for me. So, I don't think that means I just want to make videos with that exact 60 until Eternal Weekend, though. And I've heard a lot of clamoring from the comments section that we want to see Jace the Mind Sculptor again. If the theory behind having a 4-drop is that you want to navigate the game to a position, resolve a big card, and have it run away with the game, few cards do that better than Jace, especially with it having 3 modes available on resolution. I talked about this a little bit in the 4-drop tier list video, but the bounce, I've had games where I resolve Jace and just only use its -1 or +2. If you don't have a card in your deck that can beat your opponent at all, or put it this way, if your opponent's nut draw is entirely unbeatable, you should use Jace's +2 to make sure they don't draw that card. The card still has a lot of utility, and also getting a free Brainstorm, even though it is loyalty neutral. I feel like nowadays perhaps this ability might gain them loyalty. It's quite powerful stuff. Pyroblast is at an all-time low. I feel like I'm the only person out there playing Pyroblast right now. And then some of the decks you'd think would be Pyroblast decks, like Red Stompy or Chalice of the Void decks. So you don't see it very much. However, you still need to maneuver around Orcish Bowmasters, Daze. It's not really fair to compare Jace and Kaito, since not only can Kaito come in for 1 less mana, it's effectively a 3-drop a lot of the time, but Ninjutsu avoids counter magic, uses the stack in a pretty unconventional way. So they're not very comparable. Jace might be a little more flexible than Kaito in some ways, but in a lot of ways, Kaito being a clock and also having this unique ability to neutralize the threat and keep it in a zone where you have some control over it, not the graveyard where it can be reanimated again, not the hand where it can be like discarded or cast. Kaito is a very special card, so I'm excited to see what Jace will do this league. Let's move on to Grixis Control news. I want to give a huge shout out to Evan and Tom, 2 players who top 8'd the Dayton Weekly Legacy Tournament. Evan intentional draw to split the finals, and then Tom was also in the top 8 playing Grixis Control, a little different than the version I've been working on, but it's still Grixis Control, and the deck is putting up good results everywhere, it seems, and I'm really happy to see that leading up to Eternal Weekend. I'm excited to play this league. Oh, I guess there's a little bit of Modern Jund news as well. I have been receiving a lot of people encouraging me to do another Modern Jund video, so I played a little bit in the queues just to refamiliarize myself with the modern format, and I ended up posting a trophy there too. That has become my most viewed tweet, I think, ever by a long shot. So I think it will be time to do another Modern Jund video. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, with that, like, comment, subscribe, please. We're virtually at 2,000. Let's just push over that line and check out the Patreon if you want to get an additional league of content each week. Also, there's YouTube membership. The top tier of the Patreon is currently full, but if it's something you're really interested in, just contact me and I'm sure we can work something out. And yeah, all right, let's hop in there. Jace the Mind Sculptor, back in Legacy Grixis Control. All right, folks, this is a perfect start to the league. I've got 4 lands and Jace. Opponent's playing Ancient Tomb Chromox. If this is a Blood Moon, I have the wrong basic in my hand. Nice. Well, I've got this Bolt and a lot of basics in my deck. I guess I'll just do this. Make them think I'm doing something weird. I guess they also went down a mana to do that. But if they play like Fable here, we're not in good shape. Let's bolt that. Don't want to give up too much information here, because it's possible we don't play another spell this game. This is the kind of thing that we kind of need to happen. Kind of need them to just like lose all their life somehow. I guess it would have been better to hold. Well, no. I think that bolt would have, or those broadside bombardiers would have won faster than the One Ring will make them lose. Fable is very good. Alright, we can go to the next game. I don't want to show them an actual blue land. Take Consign, and then Fatal Push, and I guess that's it. Kling can go. Jace is pretty hard to cast, and doesn't quite do enough for the board. Trim Thoughtseize. Yeah, seems good. Can think about Price of Progress as well. That would be over Narset. I've been meaning to try this out. Alright. We'll take the play. And yeah, this hand is quite good. At the very least, we won't get cheesed like last game. Not by Blood Moon, anyways. And I guess I would counter a Chalice if they had that. Sundering Eruption. Magus. I kind of do want that in play. So I'm just going to let it go. I can bolt it if it ever seems like a real problem. But yeah, I think I can just make this a game about Kaito. Is there any reason... No, I'll hold up bolt. But yeah, I do like that Magus makes their Ancient Tomb a lot worse. And their City of Traders. Kind of. Fable. Oh man. That's a good one. Can't do anything about it, really. Bolt the Shaman token. Force a Will. Just a hair too late. They discard Ancient Tomb, but that's it. Sundering Eruption. Sure. I'll cast Nimble Obstructionist. Lava Spur Boots. So they're playing Urza's Saga as well. They don't attack. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, yeah, let's just get Kaito in. Snap Bolt on Reflection. Does that even work? They could put Lava Spur Boots on it, but I would force anything that is actually messed up, right? Well, they could attack Kaito. Yeah, we gotta wait. God darn. Lava Spur Boots, so good. We could double ambush, though. I mean, they're likely to equip the boots before combat, but if for some reason they don't, I'm not sure why that would be, but Chalice on 1. Can I afford to ignore that? I don't know. I could just consign, but then they can go wild on Reflection. I need to clear the board this turn. Yep, I guess Fatal Push is kind of dead until further notice. No Fairy Macabre is nice. Bolt there. Sweet. Yep. And yeah, no attack makes sense. Yeah, not bad. I feel like I still want it in play though, because they'll get a lot more mana otherwise. I don't need to worry about Red Blast while this Chalice is out too. Do that. Draw some card. Take the island, hell yeah. Been the Brainstorm, I think. They probably want to go like a Land Fury, but I'll just force that. Probably pitching Consign. As long as Magus stays around, I don't have to worry about Urza's Saga. As long as Chalice is around, I don't need to worry about Red Blast. A lot of good stuff going on here. Next turn we just attack with both, unless they attack with Magus, and then I'll just trade off my Snapcaster Mage. Those Lava Spur Boots, though, kind of a problem. Another force. That's insane. Alright, hit for 3. Draw some card. Yep, top. Feeling pretty darn good here. Broadside Bombardiers, you got it. As long as they don't have another card. Chalice on 0. Yep. And yep, that happens too. They're incredibly fast. Edict there. Do I want to draw another force? I could just play Bowmasters and have this locked up with force. Sure. Oops, that was their second main. Well, all the information was face up anyways. Okay. Looking good. Meltdown is a little more attractive now that we know for certain they're playing Urza's Saga. I just don't know. It doesn't really interact with the board the way you want it to. But I guess it's better than, like, Thoughtseize. when you're on the draw against a Chalice deck. Yeah, let's go like that. Baragoyf, as always, very attractive card. This hand looks weird, but they're keeping 7. I have a Force of Will. Don't think they're going to try and Blood Moon me again. They don't have a single play, in fact. Bolt is nice. We're going to make this a Tamiyo game. I have the Brainstorm as well. This only really goes wrong if I, like... Bombardiers? I think I'll let that go, too. Yeah. Hoping to draw a land next turn. But I get to hold my Force, which is quite special. Consign. Alright, do that. Cast Brainstorm, hopefully hit a land. Just barely do. Okay, put back, I guess, Fatal Push and Bowmasters. Plus Tamiyo. I'm hoping they commit to like a Chalice on 0 pre-combat so they can throw it down one time. And then I'll shuffle in my upkeep with Lorien revealed. But I probably can't even get a basic island. It's really rough not having black mana. More Bombardiers. I should probably force that, I guess. But I don't really want to. What can you do? Bolt there. Tamiyo is poised to take over. Alright. Underground Sea. Another Consign, sure. I guess a lot of their removal spells are kind of trigger dependent, like Fury. But I'm hoping they just play like the One Ring, something I can actually counter with Consign. Can't keep going 1 for 2 here. More Bombardiers. They could play a Ring after this, so as badly as I want to crack this Clue token, I think I'm just going to force. Bombardiers number 3. Yeah. I should have replicated. They could have Spirit Guide, Red Blasted. Bowmasters. Alright. See if they got it. If they Red Blast this Tamiyo, it will be rather sad. Pyrogoyf. That's pretty bad too. Dealing 5 to Tamiyo. Jeez. They are at 10. It is crazy that doesn't even beat Tamiyo though. If they have another Pyrogoyf, things get a little out of control. It might be time to cash it in. Shoot. Meltdown? No. That's what I was talking about. Their most important permanents are creatures. Yeah, I think I'll take a Brainstorm. Cast Brainstorm. Pass it back. Blood Moon. I put the Swamp on top, right? Did I definitely put the Swamp on top? 1 second. Yes, I did put the Swamp on top. I'm gonna take 5, even though it's kind of crazy. And then we're just gonna try and get over the line. I have to draw an island next turn, which I guess is good. If I ever draw a blue card after that. Saga. The One Ring, that's interesting. We'll see if they get over the line in time. They're at 7 though. Bowmasters is some real stuff. I'm not gonna play it out. Just gonna front. Spirit Guide. No activation, makes sense. Alright, little help here. Bolt, not bad. Hit for 3. Disruptor Flute, you got it. You can name the One Ring just to make sure you don't accidentally do that. Kaito. I guess I'll play this island. Alright, they're at 2. They kind of need to play another One Ring. We got there. Nice. Starting off 1-0. Time for round number 2. Up against Morrison90, who plays tempo sometimes. Sometimes plays Beanstalk. I see no reason to throw back a double Bowmaster hand. I'm trying to spread these matches out a little bit, but not too much. I'd like to remain honed. It's very strange that there's no turn 1 play here. That was not a particularly great draw. And I'll still make a land drop, even though it is susceptible to wasteland. Uh-oh. Undercity sewers, that can only mean one thing. Wasteland. I might not get to cast another spell this game. It's very similar to the first game of round 1, I will say. If they daze me here, we're in a pretty funny spot, but they don't. Of course, Entomb Reanimate can overpower mere Bowmasters, but if I top deck Cling to Dust, I might have game. Force of Will also gives me some modicum of game as well. We'll see what happens. This is interesting. It's hard to feel like I have game. Ugh. Green mana. This might be a Beanstalk deck. It's almost certainly a Beanstalk deck. So, I guess I'm countering this. They want to resolve a Beanstalk, and if I can get them on the line for punishment via that, I wouldn't be too upset. They're going to force back. So we're working through their cards. We have more Bowmasters. I just kind of need a land. They take Wasteland, which is nice. Because I will be playing around that in the future if I'm allowed to. Yeah. And you might think that's the worst possible land to draw. It's not. I'm guessing they'll play a Beanstalk this turn. Oh, it's Murktide. Well, I can't afford to let this Edict miss, so what I'm going to do is cast Bowmasters right now. Alright, bait was not taken. I see, I see. Well, I'm never casting that. Edict you. They have another Force of Will. Alright, well, I might still be able to race if I draw a red source, but it's not looking good. They were able to effectively play tempo against us here. Tamiyo is another pain. I think that's it, because I can't find the spell and all the other stuff in one draw. Too bad. That was a lot closer than it looked. Take Red Blast from the Catacombs. I like Agent as well, because it's annoying. I don't know if I like Reanimate against Bug Beanstalk. We'll see. This deck kind of fell off right when I started running mainboard Reanimate. Oh, I definitely want Jace. I don't know why I sided that out for a second. They also don't have Swords to Plowshares. It always stings a little extra when you get beaten by Wasteland, since the deck is built to ignore Wasteland, but I'm also not going to mulligan a functional hand in the blind. And really, it wasn't Wasteland that beat us, it was Double Force, which is always hard to beat when it's backed up by proactivity. Let's go without Thoughtseize. Price of Progress is always something you consider when you're playing against a control deck like that. This hand's pretty good. I wonder if I want to just put them to the test and lead on Tamiyo. I kind of do. But what if I found Brainstorm? I think I have enough follow-up that I'm just going to do this. Okay, cool. Well, that was a best case scenario. They did put a card on top. Barragoyf. Certainly a powerful card. Getting this clue is huge, though. I could feasibly keep up with a beanstalk. Maybe. This seems like they have bowmasters. I could have flipped Tamiyo last turn with a combination of Cling and Ponder. I bet I can bait some bowmasters out if I activate this clue token, and that would be nothing but upside for me. If they had Hull Breacher, that'd be sad. Beautiful. Narset. I think if this gets pretty late game, that will be good. For now, I can just do this. Make another clue token. I guess I do need to beat this 2-2 at some point, but this is some prime being on the play goodness. Ponder again, or for the first time rather. Yeah, I think I want Kolaghan's Command if they have yet more bowmasters. Brainstorm to flip Tamiyo. It's all pretty good. If I get Thought Seized, I want that Kolaghan's Command. I'll just take 2. No Kaito being threatened here. They have a land. They have a Baragoyf. What do I have for that? I guess I have Baragoyf. Okay. Swing in. Cast Brainstorm. Kaito. Well, that would have been pretty good. Shit. I screwed this up. Don't really want to put any bombs back, even though I might not have enough mana to do all of this. But I get pretty punished for missing out on action. Some pretty crazy things would have to happen for the game to end quickly, but I guess Narset is the most unimpactful to the board at large. Sure. Do they have Snuff Out? Alright, let's play Baragoyf. Even if it just trades for Baragoyf, it's kind of fine, I guess. Days. Oh. How do they do it? Thoughtseize too. And Bowmasters. Yep. Edict. Great. I guess I'm getting Baragoyf back, right? I don't know. Bowmasters are always so good. Just like having the most Bowmasters is how you win pretty much. But I feel like I need another bomb here. Alright, here we go. They're keeping even on Tamiyo there. Tamiyo's gained us a lot of life. They have a land. Murktide, damn. The hits keep coming. It's not bigger than Baragoyf. Kind of concerned what their last 2 cards are, though. Cast Baragoyf. Pull up Cling Bolt or Clue Activation. Not sure what their last 2 cards are. Might be a removal spell, which would be troublesome. And they are going after Tamiyo. Another Baragoyf? That's pretty annoying. I could probably beat it with Bolt, with some tricky Cling, cost paying. So yeah, I guess I'll just... activate a Clue right now? Brazen Borrower. Yeah, that'll do. I feel like getting one good hit with Baragoyf might really turn the tides. A second Bolt is also interesting. Alright, bounce that. Bolt that. Attack with Baragoyf. Get a trigger, gain some life. Grab. Definitely Bowmasters, yep. Always Bowmasters. And then, yeah, I think we'll just try and do something weird with Cling to Dust next turn, if that's possible. I don't know. My graveyard might be too big now. Although it looks like I could easily remove Planeswalker and Sorcery, but not really Creature. Barragoyf is back. Do I play Bowmasters or activate this clue? I think I'll activate a clue token. Nice. They'll have to choose what to lose. Fascinating. I'm not sure if I would have made the same decision. Petty Theft. Is their last card Dazed, do you think? I think probably not. Well, now I want to hold these Bowmasters. It'd be very easy for Brazen Borrower to deal the last few points of damage. And if I Cling Lore and Revealed, Murktide Regent would grow larger. Okay, we'll let that happen. Let's cast Ponder second main. Well, no land in there. I think I'll shuffle. Even though bouncing Murktide is like a thing you can do, another expensive card. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Do the thing. What did I walk into? Nothing, apparently. They don't shuffle. If I just didn't ponder, I probably could have bolted them here too. Could have beaten the Murktide. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe like Red Blast. Because we didn't uncover any. Up the Beanstalk. At long last. Alright, now what do I do? Probably play Barragoyf. I might have to cling to stay alive. It's not pretty. Or I could draw Red Blast. No, not quite. Alright, well. Play Barragoyf. Hit for 2. I guess they could have a hard cast Force if I let them untap, so let's do this right now. Ponder. This is pretty much all dependent on them not finding another Murktide Regent. We've taken the fight this far, and it seems like whatever I would have done last turn would have resolved, so maybe I should have just kept the Jace, the Mind Sculptor, and the Baleful Strix. I think I'm playing too loose. They don't shuffle. I guess at this point Witherbloom Command also beats me. But they can't run that many of those, right? Just another land. Not great. We'll swing in. Jeez, I keep getting these Barragoyf triggers. It's kind of shocking. I miss. Aw, shoot. That's bad. Alright. Not even a Strix to pick up with Kolaghan's command. I see. I see how it is. Brazen Borrower from exile. I wonder if they kept Force Blue card. I think this works out in a number of ways, though. But I probably should just deal to the Brazen Borrower. Or should I bolt the Brazen Borrower so I have option to gain 4 life? That seems wise. Or 3 life, sorry. Do that. It's all suspicious. Combat again. Witherbloom Command is a sorcery. So I guess I can take this hit. I might be able to, like, swoop in with Brazen Borrower for lethal. Endurance. Ooh, that's not good. So they will give it +4/+4. It's kind of a lot. If they target themselves, that is. And they do. Alright. Maybe I should have blocked. Now that thing's huge. Now I would really appreciate a Red Blast. Bolt. Well, things are feeling pretty flimsy, I gotta say. Blocking Barragoyf. Got some life to work with now, so now I can make some land stuff happen. How am I gonna guarantee blocking this Murktide Regent, though. That seems unlikely. I don't have another choice, though. Should have held that bolt. If that Baraglyph got to connect, I bet I would have hit Strix or, like, Snapcaster Mage, maybe. Feels like I should be at the stage now where I'm also able to cling into a Red Blast, because I haven't seen one of those yet. They're at 5. Is it time to burn them out? They've got 1 card left. It better not be Daze. I guess we could find out. I almost had a heart attack. I thought there wasn't another red source. Oh, because I milled over the Badlands. That would have been terrible. That's why you run 2 Badlands, by the way. You don't want to run out of red sources. Alright, it's just a land. Bolt you. Hopefully that got them off balance enough. Gotta take another game here. Price of Progress. It's honestly not bad. I think they'll have a hard time with Murktide. Oh, from the Catacombs, that could have been a good one too. To mill over with Baraglyph. Yeah, we rolled low there, but I'm glad we were able to make it through in the end. Thanks to that fetch land activation. I guess this is what we're doing. Hold on, did they play Tamiyo in game 1? I don't think they did. I think I'm remembering things wrong. Yeah, you could say Nimble Obstructionist is not really for this matchup. We could just go on the offensive a little more. Lightning Bolt's not also that great in this matchup. If they have Baraglyphs, multiples, I think Fatal Push is more called for. Maybe something like this. They'll make a lot of land drops. Yeah. They saw Opposition Agent. I'm on the draw. Let's side it out. Get another Force of Will. Right? Alright. Perfect. Ugh. Ponder, you got it. Ponder will shuffle. Oh god. Yeah, I feel like the balance has been upset. It feels like the curve is a little high right now. I feel like all 3 games I've been kind of wrestling with expensive cards. They don't have a Wasteland though. It doesn't seem like they do. Oh, beautiful. That's pretty much all I wanted. Yeah, let's not expose the red source yet. I'm not running out the Bowmasters. Thought sees me. I could play Bowmasters here, because the rest of the cards are pretty redundant other than Red Blast there. This will likely get a 2-for-1. Maybe. And now they have to brainstorm before their Thoughtseize resolves, which is great. Does that mean they don't have an answer to Bowmasters? Force of Will. Holy cow. I didn't think it would be that clean of a 2-for-1, to be honest. I think we can rule out them having Daze as well. They don't have a 3rd land. We're hitting our lands. No need to really give up information. And I guess from the Catacombs we'll do the thing going forward. Up the Beanstalk. Yeah, we'll see if we can outvalue that. Get 1 more turn of them being Brainstorm locked. Murktide Regent. Applying pressure is pretty important, isn't it? Problem is, this Murktide is only going to be a 3/3. Maybe that doesn't really matter. I'll take a 3/3 flyer. That resolved so quickly. Like, do they have Force of Will? Seems like maybe no. They do have Wasteland now, which is pretty annoying, but maybe they just need the land? I don't know. They know I have a 5-drop in my hand. Oh, maybe they have Murktide? I could see that. Alright. Cling Force before you get to your turn. Now I have a Force, but I don't have a blue card. Now their lands are coming. But yeah, they're not casting anything. Now they have Bowmasters, that's fine. It's an interesting time to do it. Brainstorm. Well, let's just keep shucking away here. Got a blue card for my Force now. I could also push Bowmasters and Brainstorm. What's the point? I like this pressure I have going on. Wow. Yeah, that's fine too. 4 cards in hand. Getting hit for 4. Well, I could really supercharge this Murktide if I just put Cling on the stack, huh? Yeah, I guess I'll just start a little bit of a fight here. Okay. Taking 3 over 4 just sounds a lot better, I don't know. Waste one of these, sure. Baraglyph. Was I supposed to force that? I was probably supposed to force that. I think I just screwed up. Cast Edict. They drop Bowmasters. Alright, cast Brainstorm. Bolt. I wish I could cast that right now. Am I really going to give them a Baraglyph trigger? I guess so. Seems scary though. Goodbye from the catacombs. I guess I can make their Baraglyph a little smaller too if I get all the instants out. Whoa, that's crazy. I just shuffled that away. Alright, put them to 3. They'll gain some life with Baraglyph. I have a Force of Will. They have 2 Beanstalks. We'll see what happens, I guess. This is fine. They've already made a land drop. I feel like they need to hold out for Murderous Cut now. Or if they play Tamiyo, Baraglyph could flip Tamiyo and produce a blocker. Timely Wasteland, that's for sure. Alright, we're going to combat. Getting hit. What do they flip? No creatures. I feel like they didn't need more card advantage. Yeah, I guess I'll force this. This might be the point I can fight over things before they have a million ways to fight back with Beanstalk triggers and stuff. But I do have a couple removal spells if I can hit a red source. Like, am I more likely to hit a red source and a blue card off of Brainstorm? Or will they want to, like, interact with a Brainstorm? I don't know. Not all questions have, like, answers. I think this is right. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, no. Doesn't matter. There wouldn't be a Tamiyo to flip. Okay, there's another blue card. So I think it will be hard for them to beat everything if I hit a red source. I do! Alright. It would have been even crazier if I hit another blue card as well. Alright, Bolt, Tamiyo. Sick. 2-0. Alright, the last match went pretty long, but now I'm back from work. Let's get this league done. I have a Thoughtseize Force hand. I'm on the draw. 61 card deck over there. And they have an Urza's Tower. This is probably what? Cloud Post? We'll see. Do I play around Wasteland? Not with this Narset in hand. Yeah, let's get Underground Sea. Don't overthink it too much. Okay, it's not Cloudpost, it's Karnforge Ring with a 61st card. So I can't really stop their mana. Is there any point in taking Grim Monolith? Not really. Are they going to want to play Saga next turn? Probably. If they play Nexus instead, they could cast Fleshraker. I'll just take Fleshraker. It's the biggest pain. But none of those cards were incredibly attractive to take. Yeah, there's the Nexus. I'm glad I'm getting a break on the... Ooh, that's pretty good. Saga. Didn't get to use my Force in time, but they're out of action. Brainstorm, I'll cast it. Murktide Regent's very good. I feel like I should use the Force, right? I could also just put it back, but I'm leaning more towards putting Baragoyf back. I don't think it's going to be super relevant. Although they have tons of mana, like they'll be able to Kozilek's command a Murktide Regent as well. So maybe the smart thing is to just put back the Force of Will. Probably. Seems crazy though. I mean, I'm going to be tapping out for the rest of the game, so sure. But I do feel nervous about it. Still not playing that Saga. What did they draw? Karn. Well, couldn't stop a Lattice anyways. Bummer. Beat by the top deck. If I could hold up Force, I would have, obviously. But the back-to-back top decks of Defense Grid and Lattice were not beatable with that hand. Normal sideboard job here. A couple consigns, Meltdown. Agent being a flash creature is not so bad. On the play, I think I'll take another Thoughtseize and then just cut, Reanimate, Cling, Badlands, one Edict, Baragoyf, and probably Jace, right? Yeah, this is a real fast matchup. If it doesn't deal damage, you probably shouldn't be keeping it. Let's hope things go a little better this time. Yeah, I think we'll just try and develop some lands here. We got quite a bit of firepower in hand. And a way to prevent a lot of one ring value. Let's take all the lands. Ancient Tomb, that's good. Defense Grid. My hand does not care about that anyways. Let's play out some Bowmasters here. And hopefully along with that Ancient Tomb, it makes it pretty hard for them to do a whole lot. I'm glad they didn't play Tower or Planar Nexus. There's a Tower. If I deck Force of Will, I'll probably want to shatter the Defense Grid. Voltaic Key. Now they have Metalcraft. Another Defense Grid. So now Meltdown's like a better draw, I think. Brainstorm. I could just play Narset. That would make sure things don't get too out of control. That key, though, like, they could Lattice, and I won't really have enough firepower on board to remove Karn either. It's tough. I could Brainstorm. Just play more Bowmasters. Then I would have enough power on board to take out Karn. More Bowmasters. Okay, put back Strix and Scalding Tarn. And yeah, we'll just play more Bowmasters. See where this gets me. Gotta play this aggressively. The One Ring. Can definitely draw a lot of cards here. Probably want to play Narset next turn. Untapping the Ring. Yep. The size of this creature might not matter that much. We'll see. Kind of depends on how much mana they can generate. They have quite a bit. Now they have a monolith. I wonder if I should shatter that. If they play Fleshraker, maybe shock that, shatter Voltaic Key. Kozilek's Command. Sure. Pretty happy to see that happen. Land. Yeah, I think I'm pretty clearly playing Narset here. Maybe dodging Ugin, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm taking Brainstorm. The other cards are like super reactive and obviously aren't doing anything. I think I really need to look for a Price of Progress as well. Shuffle that. Okay. Send it back. They are at 9. With a ton of mana. But hopefully no Ugin. If they have Ugin, then they can remove Narset, which turns the ring back on. It's not good. They have Karn. Is Lattice just good enough to win here? Because they can cast it, clearly. Oh, they're going for Mystic Forge? Yeah, they probably want to generate card advantage. Can't really do that with the One Ring through Narset, but at least Mystic Forge has a little bit more of a fail rate. Yeah, they're already exiling the top card. Mishra's Workshop, or Research Desk, rather. That's pretty good. Kozilek's Command and Disruptor Flute. Just gonna have to hope they run out of mana here. Playing the flute. Hope they don't name Kolaghan's Command. They name Narset, sure. Alright, I think we just go for lethal. Yeah, we definitely do. Can do it a lot more tidy as well. Protected by a defense grid, no less. And bolt. Alright. Things went a little better that time. Things were feeling good in game 1, but they did not end well. The defense grid into the Karn was real rough. On the draw, I'm going to take out Thoughtseize. And bring what back, though? Probably just a blue card, like Jace. Yeah. I need a high density of blue cards. Interesting hand. They're keeping 7. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Defense Grid. Well, my hand does not care about that. It's just really going to depend on how many bombs they have. Well, they have a few. Take the Ugin, even though they're not really close to casting it. Maybe I should have taken the Kozilek's Command. That was a good draw. Thoughtseize again. I don't think they can cast it. Play Tamiyo. Now I'm looking for Meltdown. They don't have like a particularly high amount of mana. Research Desk is pretty good though. Because now I can't bolt this construct. It's terrible. And I'm only drawing land, which is not good. I think I need to Bowmaster Ping plus Bolt to take the first one out. See if I can tread some water for a little bit. Next turn flip Tamiyo. It's not great. And they are losing life, but like, I kind of need them to not rip. 4/4 is a big deal, especially if they get Manifold Key, which I guess would continue to tie up their mana. But I don't like the prospect of just like not interacting with this deck very much. But at the same time, I'm hoping they just make a construct here. I hope they don't have something better to spend their mana on. Okay. Tameo could effectively gain me some life too. If they get distracted by Tameo, get the Manifold Key, and start putting mana into that. Oh, Pithing Needle. Are they going to name Seasoned Scholar? Yeah, that's fine. Nexus. Yeah, pretty light on mana. Activating the desk. Another Grid and Tezzeret. I guess I'm looking for what? Meltdown? Yeah. More Bowmasters. Doesn't quite do it. Bolt. That does, just not this turn. And if they get another artifact, that's bad. So I guess I'm attacking with everything, huh? Yeah, they don't even block. They know what this is about. Then I guess I'll just play more Bowmasters. Get more damage across. And we're looking for Price of Progress at this point. Got them to 10. That's a lot of mana. They're entirely in range of price. They're even kind of in range of like a race. If they hit me for like 5 and I hit them for 4, they go to 6. If they're tapping Ancient Tomb at all, which they probably don't have to now that they have Urza's Tower. They could also get Pseudo Vigilance though if they attack and then untap, but no, they're gonna tutor. Portable Hole. Sure. On what? The army? On Bowmasters. Didn't expect that. Take 5. Alright. Need a good rip here. That's pretty good. How do I hold on? Definitely leaving Tameo back. Guess there's no harm in activating this clue. Damn. Well, okay. Grim Monolith. Tezzeret. Manifold Key. Had a feeling. Now I can't double bolt this construct. But I feel like if they want to cast another bomb, they'd have to tap the Ancient Tomb. I mean, I guess double bolting the construct was never really a consideration since the defense grid is out. But from one card, they can't go like Fleshraker, crazy stuff. They could unearth the research desk, I guess. But even then, I guess I'm going to 2. And then 1. Jesus. Don't need force. Bowmasters. That's all the reach right there if this attack fails somehow. Okay. Bolt you. Bowmasters. Nice. Earlier today on my Discord, I advised people to do your best to ignore Tezzeret, and I think it really worked out this time. So I'm glad I was able to put that advice into practice and have it be paid out. All right, got a couple more to go here. Another 61 card deck over here. It's very strange, but we'll keep. And yeah, sorry that we're not doing a Spider-Man release week video. I've been keeping an eye on all the stuff, and there just really isn't much out there for us. There's like a pretty cool looking black card that returns a 1-drop from your graveyard, but it has a Jund activated ability and a Jund cost on the other side. This is probably Oops All Spells. And there's a pretty cool blue 1-drop, but it only lets you cast artifacts out of your hand. So, like, I don't know. There just was not much for us over there. Taking Cling is no surprise. Might be hard to win game 1 here. Draw Ponder. It's time to bluff. Basically, you need to ponder and not shuffle no matter what it is. I mean, sure. I want that Nimble Obstructionist. I don't think we'll survive, but we might make it one more turn if they wait to find protection. If I don't shuffle. But there's not a lot of punishment for them to just jam here. Cabal Ritual, Undercity Informer. Yeah, the bluff almost never works. Sometimes it works, but most of the time they will just jam. Alright, what's going on here? I see an Oracle, 1 Jack-o'-lantern. Unmask is interesting. No Pact of Negation. So yeah, they're just going for discard spells here. I think that means they're gonna have creatures post side, but it's never like completely clear. We'll take Fatal Push. I mean, it's better than some of the other cards no matter what. Like, we don't need Narset, Jace. Fatal Push is, I think, a little better than Edict. Yeah. Trim 1 Bolt. Don't need this Mountain. That's 60. Oh, I do want Surgical, though, of course. I can trim a Baleful Strix, and then could be another land. You don't need a lot of mana to operate here. Oh, I think it should be a Kolaghan's Command. There we go. I will play first, and I will keep this hand with Surgical Force of Will. And I will play Undercity Sewers on turn 1, and I will keep another Surgical, despite my better judgment. I want to be ready to go. They also kept 7. That's not normal Oops behavior. Unmask. Pitching, unmask. You got it. Taking Bowmasters is crazy. Like, what does that mean? What are they doing? Well, they bolted that in, so clearly something. Barragoyf. Yeah, I'll force that. And then I'll extract them too. On your draw step. And I'm still not totally soft to the combo either. Because I have another Surgical. But yeah, this game has hit a stall. I see why they took Bowmasters. They have a stop on their draw step too? Oh, they just conceded? Sure. Well, I mean, I cited in all the card I wanted for the combo of that game anyways, so I don't think anything really changes. You could trim another land. But bring in what? I guess Baleful Strix. Like, I've kept no land hands against Oops before, and won. Like, if the game is decided on your turn 0, essentially, you don't even have a chance to make a land drop, so what's the point? I think I'm fine with this. Hold on. Yeah, I guess technically there still are more blue cards than black cards. But the blue cards, 4 of them don't even need mana to be cast. You could say the same about Surgical Extraction as well. Yeah, I like the double Highland. Well, let's give it a shot, huh? This is stressful. At least no one will be mad at me if I lose this game and match. Oops All Spells. What do you want me to do? I like the Spell Bomb, but I can't keep this hand. They're taking a mulligan. Oh, jeez. A lot of the time I just lose if I keep this. Nope, that won't do it either. This is worse than the last hand. They're good on 6. Alright. I guess I'll bottom, what? Badlands? Bolt? It was definitely Kolaghan's Command. Beyond that, there's arguments for each card here. I think Badlands. Pedal. Pedal. Pedal Unstoppable Slasher. Informer. Is this Informer Pass? God, I hope it's Informer Pass. It's not Informer Pass. Alright. Well, let's see if I can mess anything up here. They might not have any green mana. They might have just jammed. Like, what's in their hand? Can we figure this out? Hold on here. Is it Memory's Journey? There's Thassa's Oracle. Jack-o'-lantern. Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide. Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide. So they don't have a Spirit Guide in their hand. There's Bridge from Below. 1 Informer. 2 Informer. Is it Informer? I see Poxwalkers. Trawler, Trawler. Spy, Spy. Spy, Spy. It's not a Spy. Oh wait, there's another Informer. Informer, Informer. No, all 4 Informers are there. What about Unmask? Yep, all 4 Unmasks. Not Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. I'm not sure what it is. Is it Memory's Journey? Like, wouldn't this deck want a backup of something? I feel like it's Memory's Journey. They only mold to 6. Like, they could have had to put an Archimedes back in the deck, you know? So what do? Do I just extract Thassa's Oracle? Or do I extract an Archimedes? I feel like that never goes right for me. I always miss something. I think this is the obvious line. Okay, that's all 4 Academ's Awakenings. I mean, it's pretty clear they didn't have a land. I think they would have played that out and held the Spirit Guide. Why do they have Jack-o'-lantern if they don't run Memory's Journey? Isn't that the point? I feel like it has to be Memory's Journey. Why didn't I look for that in game 1? Hold on. We have the technology. Second time I've done this league. So yeah, they did have a Memory's Journey in game 1. I'm guessing that must be in their hand. It's really weird, even though they mulliganed. But they must have had an even worse card to be in their hand than Memory's Journey. But I don't fully understand that. Sorry, opponent. Yeah, it's got to be Memory's Journey, right? I've got 1 card in hand. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, folks. I'm gonna do it. It was Memory's Journey. Okay. Well, I think we're in the clear. Exiled the Oracle. I mean, they can Cabal Therapy themselves and put Memory's Journey into their graveyard. And then I'll just have to tread water, essentially. Does that mean I should have extracted the Narcomoebas? I might have screwed up. How many therapies do they have? I think 2 is pretty normal. I don't think they'll name Lightning Bolt. Name Surgical. Really wish that I took or kept that Badlands now. Was I supposed to keep... Wait, how are they going to cast the Memory's Journey? They don't have any mana. See, I think we're in the clear. Okay, cool. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to screw up, and I'm going to throw this trophy, because I don't think I can keep doing it every Friday. But I'll do my best. Well, I'm going to say it's the worst case scenario. We're having to face Yorion, and I need to mulligan. So already. Bad. Sure, we'll give this a shot. Oh, this person is familiar with my content. I'll be transparent and say I am recording. Looks like we're both up for a trophy. That's pretty wild. King's Yorion. Can I really afford to force? Snapcatcher Mage is pretty good for later as well. Yeah, I'll put the force away, I think. Although maybe force protecting Tamio is a way I can actually beat a Yorion deck. Maybe. Sure. Talked myself into it. What are they playing? Flooded Strand, go. Alright. Is this blue Yorion? Or is it Death and Taxes? think I'm going to play Tameo here. Make up for some lost card advantage. Shadowy Backstreet. It might be Death and Taxes after all. We put a card on top. Swamp. Solitude. Didn't want to have to force this early. Should I just take my 2-for-1? I think so. Just take the dang 2-for-1. Overlord, force that. Maybe I'll rip Thoughtseize, who knows? I mean, reanimate? Yeah, just a land. Holding Bowmasters to be a removal spell is pretty important. So there's a world in which I just surveil this turn. Aether Vial. 2 cards left. Should I start applying pressure? Probably. Probably. They likely drew that Aether Vial for turn. I could rip Kaito here too, that'd be pretty strong. There's the frickin' reanimate. Oh my god. Well, if this baits out Bowmasters, it doesn't. I mean, there are risks involved with reanimating Overlord, because they have like flicker creatures, but it's too good to pass up. I missed. But maybe I'll hit next turn. You never know. Aether Vial goes up to 1. They have a Wasteland. Yorion goes to hand. And a Solitude pitching Yorion. 1 card left. Well, that solves that. It would have been a lot better if I hit on the Overlord ability, of course, but what can you do? I'm just going to apply more pressure. Try and get this game over with. Play Strix. Baragoyf. Well, if they wasteland me, it's not immediately castable, but it's a pretty big and tough creature. Blue mana. Well, that makes me happier to have these Bowmasters established, I suppose. Another Vial's probably not what they wanted at this junction. And then they'll waste my red source, yep. Okay, cool. Slam in. Play Baragoyf. See if they can beat this board. It's pretty tough. I'm curious what their last card is. Is it an expensive card? We stole game 1 from Yorion. Esper Vial? Or is it Death and Taxes? Overlord of the Baelmerk is scary. I feel like Esper Vial does not often play Wasteland. It's really more focused on other things. How about Red Blast? And I think Price of Progress, maybe. From the Catacombs. Consign. They're like all tricky tools because at the end of the day you want to be able to answer creatures. Consign is not really going to do that unless they play into your hand. Like if they do like a mass exodus with the Orion. I do know that Murktide and Baragoyf can go. And From the Catacombs is definitely coming in. Should probably take a Fatal Push too. I can trim 1 land. I'm having this really weird Savant moment where if I play 61 cards, it will slightly skew my deck towards having more action than lands, barely. That might not be a good thing. Cling to Dust, good at grinding, but not super impactful. Thoughtseize I'm also not crazy about. And how good is Red Blast really going to be? We saw Tundra, but how many like strong blue cards do they have, you know? Maybe Narset's too slow. I'm mostly just curious what they're playing. We didn't get a good look at the strategy on a whole. So paradoxically, I think maybe I can trim Kolaghan's Command and bring in... I gotta make a choice here. Shoot. Yeah, let's try Agent. I'm gonna bank on this being taxes. But it might not be. Hand seems fine. It's a little soft to Wasteland. But it's pretty impervious to Thoughtseize. They might even just take Ponder to mess up my turn 1. Or they might take Brainstorm. Or they might take Bowmasters. There's good arguments for most of these cards. Mostly I'm just glad they're not getting on board. Brazen Borrower is not one I really expected, but it is the closest thing resembling a removal spell. Now I have another one. I should prioritize land drops here. Yeah, I think I'll shuffle. Okay. Could be good. Caracas. Overlord of the Baelmerk. That's pretty good. Got some good choices there. Felia. It's going to be hard to snag that with Caracas around. We hit the land, not bad. Could also reanimate Solitude if I ever needed a removal spell in a pinch. Let's cast Brainstorm right now. Kaito, it's another good thing to set up. Let's move some cards around. Although maybe I don't want to lose too many of them. Cling can draw me through it, but maybe I just want to bolt no matter what. I can choose to draw that swamp. And this kind of makes it look like I'm kind of mono-screwed. So maybe they'll Wasteland. Felia. On the main phase. I wonder what that was playing around. Well, I can't have them target Overlord. If I bolt now, they'll use Caracas. I also want to get Bowmasters in next turn. What's the best way to do this? I guess I need to trap Felia, but it doesn't feel good to 2-for-1 myself like that. I think Reanimate will be better. I think there will be better uses for Reanimate. I could also just Reanimate Brazen Borrower. I can't let Caracas take too many cards off me, though. So yeah, I think we'll just try and trap Felia. They might even let it go on their turn. What if they have Bowmasters, though? This is not wise. I did want that swamp. This does not feel good. Shadowy Backstreet. Happy to see no Wasteland, that's for sure. Need Bin Marsh Flats. Extract Bolt. Sure. Well, they went down a card for that. That's kind of nice. My hand is something resembling stacked. If I draw a land and just slam Kaito here, I guess it's not great if they play Felia. And it seems like they have Felia. But maybe Kaito can outgrind. Maybe. Hit the land. I might as well do it. Well, plus. No Felia. Alright, well. Recruiter of the Guard. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a lot to grind through, but I do have an engine on board, which feels good. Flicker Wisp. Yeah, that card's really strong. Another land. Alright, let's get a hit in here. Hit Recruiter for sure. Smash for 4. Activate Kaito. Take Thoughtseize. And I'll bank the Edict. Thoughtseize you. Take Flicker Wisp for sure. The rest of the hand is not the scariest. But they could Yorion soon, and that's not good. And they drew Swamp for turn. Yorion to hand. Overlord becomes a creature. Let's draw Edict. And cast it. They didn't swords in response. I mean, that would be a pretty drastic measure. I have no bolts. So even though they're at 7, it's not gonna like be incredibly easy from now. Let's draw a card. I think I'll bin them both. Don't hate Bowmasters. Reanimate Overlord. Yeah. There's from the Catacombs as well. Take Brazen Borrower. Holy cow. Shout out Carlo MV. GG's. I cannot believe we stole that. Oh man. Not a good matchup. Mulligan in game 1. A lot had to go right there. But I think the moral of the story is that the deck is just performing really well. I think the deck is strong. I'm looking forward to Eternal Weekend. Yeah. I didn't cast Jace this league. We didn't really have any opportunities for Jace, which should tell you how viable it is into the meta right now. The meta is just super accelerated. There's a Crucible being created by Blue-Black Reanimator, Oops All Spells. Yeah, we didn't see Reanimator this league. But yeah, you don't really have time to cast big cards in most matchups. That would have been the right matchup for Jace. But even then, like, flash creatures like Felia are incredibly powerful and incredibly difficult to tap out into. I was about to say play around, but, you know, we play Bolt, Fatal Push, whatever removal you feel is most appropriate. And yeah, tapping out is a scary thing to do. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Come back next week. If there's a lot of excitement around it, I'll totally do a Spider-Man release video. It'll be a week late, but yeah, I just was not really seeing any cards. I guess there's like the Fleam one, but even that one is like more of a discard card. I don't know, this is not the place to talk about Spider-Man Omen Path spoilers. Jeez. Yeah, have a great day. Those were some crazy, insane matches. And yeah, I'll see you next time.